First up is more in the parenting vein. We've got someone who said, "What should I do with my preteen daughter who's got a friend group at school and church that there seems to just always be a lot of drama. There's always fighting. So and so's not talking to so and so, and maybe there's kind of gossip and things like that. How do I, as a mom, help my daughter navigate those friend dynamics?"
Well, great communication principles. This is actually an awesome training ground for your daughter to learn how to be a responsible, functional, wonderful friend as an adult and somebody that can deal with conflict resolution. So there's some really basic principles that we felt we needed to hammer with our kids in sort of the preteen and the teen eras that actually weed out a lot of the major problems. You're not going to get rid of conflict because conflict is an aspect of human relationship. What you can deal with is making sure that you have conflict around the things that matter and that you do conflict well. So I'm going to give a few principles. And obviously, these are things that you want to direct to your teen or your preteen, but none of this matters if you're not living it yourself. Right? Your kids are often going to do what you do rather than do what you say. So if I say a few things here and you go, oh, I don't do that, don't expect your 12-year-old to do what you as a 32-year-old or 42-year-old cannot do. So I'll give you a few basic principles that I have found are very, very helpful in church life, in mom life, in friend life. And that is, I'm very, very selective about what I say to other people and what I hear from other people. So I will tell everybody, no one is going to learn anything new about you from me. So people can put in all kinds of vulnerable disclosures or confessions or failings or weaknesses or struggles that they're going through, and it never comes out of me. Maybe I've wrecked this a couple times, but then I recognize it. I go back to them and say, you told me that you were pregnant in confidence. I totally blew it and I shared it with so and so. And I want to say that I'm sorry. And I will go back to them also and say, I shouldn't have shared that. So even if you don't get it right, go back and do it well. And this is really, really important for a couple reasons. One is people trust you more when you don't share information about other people to them. They know you are not going to share your information to other people. So my son and I were driving along and we were kind of talking about some dynamics in his friend group. And I asked a pointed question about his friends. Have they done this? Have they experienced this? And he goes, oh gosh, mom, if I tell you, how do I know that you're not going to tell somebody else or tell one of their mothers? And I said, Josh, have you ever heard me say anything to you about somebody else? Have I ever shared new information about somebody else to you? And he goes, you probably have. And I go, when? Name it. Because I might have a long time ago, but I guard my lips for that reason so carefully because I want to be somebody that other people can trust. And he goes, all right, let me tell you what's going on. Right? Because he knew that he could trust me because I wasn't sharing anything about other people, even things that were kind of like good or happy, but that were personal that I didn't have permission to share. So number one is you're not going to share new things about other people. But the other thing is I don't listen to other people share trash about somebody else. I always want to receive something they're struggling with. I always want to be a safe haven for them to confess. But if somebody starts telling me trash about somebody who is not them, I say, please stop. And I'll say, if it has to do with resolving a conflict they're having, they have to share that information so I can direct them to biblical action. That's one thing. But if they're just talking trash about somebody just to trash them, I will say, stop. I actually love that third party so much that I cannot hear this information about them without them being present here. So can you just pause, share whatever part of this is your personal firsthand information, your action, your thoughts, share that with me first, but extract from that the information that belongs to them instead. I would say those two principles: do not speak something of somebody else that is not yours to share, and do not hear something from somebody else, from a third party. That is going to wipe out 90% of not just adult conflict, but definitely preteen drama. So those principles take practice. It actually is a skill that you have to practice. Practice guarding your lips. Practice shutting your mouth when you want to say things that don't belong to you. Practice politely. And this is very uncomfortable for people like me because I don't like conflict, saying, stop. I actually am really uncomfortable that you're saying you Jennifer, are telling me that thing about Cheryl. And I love Cheryl so much that I am not going to listen to something that somebody else says about Cheryl. And actually, that will increase my hypothetical Jen. My hypothetical Jennifer is going to actually trust me more because she knows that I'm not going to listen to things about her that someone else is saying. So that's what I'd say. If you can coach your daughter to exempt herself from a lot of the drama, just in terms of the circulating information that doesn't belong to her, that's going to take care of the vast majority of sort of the teen issues.
As the poet Taylor Swift says, you can train your daughter to say, please exclude me from this narrative, right?
Oh, okay,
And
great.
I love too that, like, if you have a relationship with your daughter and you can say, please come talk to me about the things you're having a hard
Mhm.
time navigating, and you can encourage her, depending on the issue, don't even say names of who you're
Mhm.
talking about. Just if
Yeah.
you come and bring that situation to me and let me help you navigate it, I think is really great. And, I think too, in our neighborhood growing up, my parents were very not involved in our neighborhood dramas, and other parents sometimes would get involved. The problem is then the kids resolve it, and the parents still have you have a negative feeling because that parent came and got kind of irritated with you, or the parents were getting involved in drama when they didn't need to because the kids were going to figure it out. So I feel like if parents are going to get involved, obviously these are the less serious things. Help your kid navigate it versus you stepping in to get involved.
Mhm.
If it's a serious issue, then definitely, get involved and help. The adults then should be the ones that help the kids resolve it, not make it worse by causing drama themselves.
Yeah. And I want to clarify that story I was telling about my son. I wasn't saying, hey, tell me trash about your friends.
Yeah, yeah.
I was saying, are you experiencing these kinds of challenges or struggles in your friend group? And that is like, how is this implicating you? Like, that's what I want to get at. Are you struggling with this? Have you been presented with this? So that's what I'm saying. Isolate it down to the person you're talking
Mhm.
to, exclude the people that are outside of that two-person conversation.